Hi everyone, this is Sarah Michel, and this is my third weekly challenge to God. As in my first couple of transmissions, first thing I want to say is that this is not a challenge on people's faith and beliefs. On your private life, you can believe anything you want. I don't really care, but I'm an atheist and I don't believe in God or gods. So for me to believe in a God, I need evidence, I need proof. And I haven't seen any. Philosophy, religions, none of them has convinced me that God or gods are real. And I require evidence to believe. So if God is indeed real and He is all powerful, what I'm doing with these streams is to challenge Him directly to prove to me that He is real. Now, you might want to know what kind of evidence do I want? Well, if God is omniscient, I don't have to tell him what kind of evidence I need. He would know. But you might be curious, so I will tell you. If God is all powerful, I challenge him to come down from heaven, destroy my body in front of this camera. I'm streaming live, destroy me. And then to prove that he's also good, he would reconstruct my body in front of this camera, cell by cell, so everyone would see that he's good. And he's giving this atheist a second chance. Now, that would prove his power and his benevolence. And honestly, I think after doing that in front of a camera, live to the world, no atheist would, nobody would any longer question that he's real and that he's powerful. There will be no longer atheists out there if God did that. But God hasn't done yet. This is my third week and I'm still here. I'm still challenging and I'm still demanding him to give me proof that he's real. Nothing happens. I'm still, doing this for 3 weeks now and still here. Also, as I also think it's important to point out what God wouldn't do if he was real and if he was all powerful was to cause me to die in an accident, to bring this roof to collapse and kill me, or anything of the sort, because these things happen all the time. Churches collapse while people are praying, religious people die, are struck by lightning. All of this stuff happens to people who believe in him. So if that happened to me, would not prove that God is real. It happens all the time. And we have explanations of how these things happen in the real world, in the natural world. So that is not a proof of God. Other thing that an all-powerful God wouldn't do is send someone to hurt me or to hurt people I care about, because all-powerful God would not send, an all-powerful and good God would not send someone else to do his dirty work for him. He would do it himself, especially a God that creates laws that say that hurting other people is wrong. And then he sends someone to hurt another human being. That doesn't make any sense. And that is not the act of a good God. A good God would do his dirty work himself and not turn other people into criminals according to his own law. As I mentioned in my second transmission, I'm in Brazil visiting my parents, and my daddy has a health issue. He's still in hospital for over a week. Now, we don't, doctors are still not sure what's going on, which is a concern. He still has some internal bleeding, and he did another tomography and nothing shows. So it's pretty complicated. Like, he's been losing a lot of blood, having to do a lot of blood transfusions, and yeah, it's kind of worrying. So we don't know what's going on, and that's why I'm not being so dedicated on doing this, because I've been running around a lot. It's been more than a week since my last transmission. I'm trying to keep this weekly. I still have one more week here before I go back home to Australia, but yeah, this is a big concern, and there might be a decision this weekend, maybe today, or hopefully tomorrow, to what to do to improve his condition. He might have to do a surgery and maybe remove something, probably his intestine. Might have to remove it because it's bleeding and doctors don't know what's going on. But one thing, as I said last week with the whole thing God issue, this week, what I want to talk about a little is about the oh my God issue. Because one thing that people say is that, oh, when something bad happens, you say, oh my God. And that kind of proves that inside, I believe in a God and I'm asking God to help. And I say that's a bunch of bollocks. That's rubbish. I don't say that because of believing God. It's just something that I say since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was brought up to believe in God. I didn't have much choice not to. So, yeah, I grew up saying this kind of stuff, but it doesn't mean that I believe in God or that I worship God, because I don't only say, oh my God. I say stuff like, holy fuck, or like, oh my Zeus, sometimes I say as well, or Jesus fucking Christ, which, are blasphemy. If I believed in that kind of crap, I wouldn't say this. If I believe in any, if I believe in Zeus, it does. The fact that I say, "Oh my Zeus," which I do sometimes, it doesn't mean that I believe in Zeus or that I worship Zeus. Same thing with God. Like, this is just something we say because it's custom. We just used to say this kind of thing. If I didn't grow up saying it, I wouldn't say it. It doesn't mean anything. So I find it funny that believers, when they hear you saying that, they try to, point out and do kind of a gotcha thing. You see, you believe in God because you say, oh my God. Yeah, I'm not going to exclude the word God from my vocabulary just because I'm an atheist. It doesn't make sense. But you don't say that when I say, holy fuck. You don't say, you believe in Satan because you say, holy fuck, or whatever. It's just really, really silly. But yeah, that's what I want to say. Oh, one more thing, as always, before I go. I also want to call all atheists out there to do also a feed. It doesn't have to be on YouTube if you don't have a YouTube channel. It could be on Instagram or Facebook or any other social media. Do a short feed, a couple of minutes every now and then, to show people. Like, it's nice to be a challenge to God. I think that's fun to do, to show that you're not scared of God or anything like that. Which is to show that you really don't believe, that you can go and challenge God and demand proof, and be sort of do a blasphemy, a live blasphemy, and you don't really care, because that's a good proof that you don't believe in any God, that you're not scared of any consequence. But also to show to people how many atheists are out there, that we are a big group, bigger than most people believe us to be, and yeah, that we just don't believe in stuff, and we are not scared, or we're not scared of saying how we feel about it, and we don't want to be judged because we are atheists. That's really, really bad. People still to this day think you're a bad person just because you don't believe in a deity. It's just silly. It's just unbelievable. It's baffling that to this day that kind of stuff still happens. So I think it's important to show to people that you are atheist, that you don't believe in God, you're not scared of God, and you're not scared of social repercussion because you are an atheist. So a live feed like this is interesting. I think it would send a good message to people. So I encourage atheists to do this kind of stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'm ending now. Hopefully next week I'll be with a better humor. My dad will be out of hospital and this situation will be over before I go back home, so I won't, travel worried about my dad. Thank you for watching. I'm Sarah Michel, and I'll see you next week.